Hello and welcome to another session of Soul Expression Sessions. I'm your host, Allison McLeod, and I am very honored to have Jean-Luc Hilaire with me today. And Jean-Luc is a transformative coach and healer with over 30 years of experience in guiding transformative journeys and helps to answer, what does it mean to be me? I love that. He faced lots of adversity, though, with business failures, with bankruptcy, and a battle with cancer. But that didn't stop him. And even from the depths of that despair, he embraced continuous learning and transitioned from financial hardship to success in construction management. His story inspires others and emphasizes the power of resilience and life's trials and lessons. Now, as a certified coach and practitioner in various modalities, he shares his wisdom through transformative programs like the Passionate Life program he'll talk about today, and tools to empower others and their paths to create the life of their dreams. I'm honored to introduce to you my new friend Jean-Luc Hilaire from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So you get two Canadians in the house today. Hello, Jean-Luc.
Hey, Ellison, thanks for inviting me. It's an honor to be here with you.
Well, it is so great to have you. And I met him a couple weeks ago at another event, and we started talking about our transformative abilities and wants to be able to make people live the best life of their dreams. So I wanted to share him with you to talk about his Passionate Life program. And he's got a special, amazing gift for you at the end. So stay tuned for that. So Jean-Luc, how did you come up with what you do? You've been through such adversity, and now you went from construction management into something that's more passionate about people and their foundation. How did that occur?
Well, I'm French Canadian, so for the Canadian people know what that means. So like raised with kind of a hot temper and all kind of stuff. So I spend my life trying to fix me, not to be a coach. And because I went through a lot of things, and then I made a lot of money as a construction manager, I was able to travel the world learning all kinds of different things. Like in my 20s, I became a Reiki master, and I started doing different meditation, different modality. I forget half of them I've done, and also doing past life regression. So when I went through the cancer adventure 7 years ago, I proved to myself everything I had was working. Doctor didn't quite understand. I stuck to my ground because I have no fear of death. So I was able to make the right decision. And then now I'm still being followed because they don't understand. Like I went through it, I went through the whole thing. And now I saw that the fear in people is the biggest thing I've seen, especially when we had the other thing happen in 21. The fear to me was what I want to fix. I want to get people to reconnect to their higher self and be resilient, not have this fear of everything. And the tools I had at the time were those tools to help create the vision, create the passion that you have. So no matter what happened in your life, you didn't sit down and start crying. You say, okay, why is this happening to me? And what can I do about it now? Right. But when you have a long-term vision, that's why you see the anchor on my poster. The anchor to me is the long-term vision that anchors you. And then we create the rope with the passions. And then it doesn't matter what kind of storm of life bring, you have the resilience. You create resilience, not just give up. And so that's what I do. So the passion to me is very interesting because when I start working with this, at first it was a 6-week program. Now it's an 8-week program, and it's very powerful. I got also a 1-year program, but I try to bring people to the 8-week program because the basic there is very important. Because the first thing we do, we start to figure out the passion. What is it that you love? And a lot of times you have things that don't belong to you. What does I mean by that? It's like your parents, for example. In my age group, you had to be a lawyer or a doctor. Some kids took it. Then you had siblings. Sometimes you have a brother or a sister that was cool. You tried to be like them. And then teenage, you get affected a lot. Like you tried to cool kids, you tried to do their stuff. And then when you get to spouse, everybody gets in a relationship. They try to please the other person, and you do things that are not yours. So I work with women over fees that start questioning their life because what's going on? Is that all there is in life? And then once we start doing that, that's the first step before we even start planning the vision on all areas of life, which is your career, your personal life, your spiritual life, and your health. We have to make sure you do the things you love. Like, for example, I have one of my friends, she goes camping with her husband. Her husband loves camping. She loves going camping with him because he does everything. the thing is, she doesn't like to put the tent up. She doesn't like to make the fire. She doesn't like to cook in that environment. He does it all, so she loves it because she loves being in the wood, doing the walk, and doing the activities, but she hates the other stuff. So that's what I call the gray area. She loves camping, but there's a but there. So then you have the things that you love that are yours. Like my thing is I love downhill skiing and scuba diving. So I had partners in my life that didn't like either one. So the skiing, I either go with my friends, go with myself, and scuba diving. I had some partner that loved the boat, loved to be in water, but don't want to go scuba diving. I go scuba diving. I don't force the other. So those are mine, totally mine. And then the other one, they're not. If you don't like animals or you're allergic to animals and your partner loves, so you gotta, it's a no, right? And then you got the gray area, what I call the but. Like I love to go camping, but you have to take care of everything. And that works because there's a but there. So like some people say, I don't like skiing, but I could go be in the mountains and do the spa and do the stuff while you go skiing. But then so we sorted out the things that really bugs you or drives you, because we know when you get into a relationship, you'll agree to everything, but then after a while, you start to be yourself and start to say, I hate this. Why am I doing this? But what we do, especially when you're 40s, you start to know your life, the stuff you picked up that are not yours, we have to clean them out before we even look at your limiting belief or start planning your life and start understanding power of the word, managing your thought. So there's a lot of things I bring in there. Being from the corporate world, I bring a lot of stuff that intellectual at first, before I try to go into energy work. Like we do manifestation, the power of the word. So we start to understand all these things. So these are a lot of fun. I love doing this program. I see the change, and we do a lot of reprogrammation and stuff like that. So I go on, but what do you have for me? Do you have a question on this?
I love the fact too that at the top of your pyramid it says vision and joy. Because people, I think, especially women, we forget to, grasp onto that joy part. Because I have women in menopause, so 40 plus, they're going through a lot of changes too. So I love that because sometimes they forget, and some of that joy is in self-care. Like if you wanted to go downhill skiing and I want to go to the spa, that's a self-care day for me, right? So it's looking at different things that way, and I love your outlook on that for sure. What's the difference though between your 8-week program and your 1-year program?
Well, the 8-week program, I go to a certain level where we can touch on some stuff like root programmation. So that's why I went from 6 weeks to 8 weeks, because I kept checking it in and supporting. The 1-year program is a total support. Like, when you start working on power of the word and paying attention to your thoughts and creating some affirmation and manifestation, 1-year program will teach all kinds of stuff, because I got a full 12 months of different things. But we keep those part every time we meet. We make sure you keep working on them. So it's total support. If you can do that, having the right words, the right manifestation, and the right mindset for 1 year straight, you're in, right? Because now you've created habits, you've created the life around that, you create the people around you that supports that. So the 1-year program is just a life changing, but it's a little bit of work, because you got to keeping people around you. They will notice if you say the wrong words. Like, we work with positive words, constructive words. So, and that's why a lot of people say, well, manifestation doesn't work. No, if you do a nice manifestation a couple of times a day, or you put it somewhere, and then you swear at people, you scream when you're driving at other people, like the energy doesn't align. So we have to make sure your affirmation aligns with your day, with the way you start thinking, the way you start acting. Like the other day, I was driving with one of my friends, and she's a little bit of a pit bull. I call her a little pit bull. She's 5 foot tall, but she's a tough girl. And then there's a guy that cut me off, and then she's ready to put the window down and scream at the guy, and said, "No, it's just like you make some stories, like, so maybe he needs to go to the bathroom real bad, or maybe his wife called him just ready for him, like, so if you have somebody sarcastic, you can make story and laugh instead of getting mad. But once you get mad, start screaming, that energy stays with you for a while. So it doesn't matter what kind of affirmation you do during the day. If you get there, then that destroys your day, destroys the energy around it. So you got to rebuild all the time. And that's why when you have support, you keep doing it. You keep doing right, and you keep attracting the right energy, and you start to feel better. because anger is a poison for us, right? Anger and resentment and hate is one of our teachers tells it all the time. When you have that revenge and anger and stuff, it's like drinking the poison that you want you and expecting your enemy to die, right? It doesn't work. So we have to clean that up. So the more we are joyful, so like the pyramid, to me, at the top, you always the peace and the joy. And I remember the first time I felt that peace. Wow, that was a Sunday morning. I was having my coffee, look outside because I feed the birds, and there's a peace that came over. All the bills were paid, the kids were fine, I had a good job. But then life comes over and knocks your pyramid out because it's not built strong enough. So then you got to rebuild the bottom. Like, when I was in Cairo, I went and kissed the pyramid, and it's been there 5,000 years, and I don't know how millions of pounds it is. It never moved because the foundation that's why I love to use the pyramid. The foundation is so strong. So then you got to build that foundation. And every step after that's like your personal life, your professional life, your spiritual life, and you make them stronger and stronger. So then you can have peace and joy all the time, or most of the time, because life kicks us. But the more you build it, the stronger you get in your resilience. Like when I cut my thumb real bad, you can't see it there on the weekend. I was cooking and I opened a can and cut. So the first thing, there's a couple of French words that came out, but the first thing is why? Why'd I cut myself? Yeah, it is an accident, but when I work with different things here, I always find a reason of when you attract illness. That's why I work with my cancer and look at it. And I know a lot of stuff in my life was going on, and then it's still a little bit pain, but at the time it was a lot of pain. So it makes you stop. Okay, why is it happening? And the thing, it heals faster. Like it's only been 2 days and there's no more pain. And it's already healing pretty good. Yeah.
Well,
Just
I
cool.
love that, right? And you're right. Like with forgiveness, you can't stay mad and hold on to that revenge because you're right. It's only going to poison you, not them. And I wrote about that in a book as well, because you can't, because a lot of women do. Well, he did this to me or they did that to me. And I'm like, you have to let go of that for yourself. It doesn't say, yes, they're off the hook. It just says you're off the hook. And
Yeah, that's why when we cut the cords, we cut the expectation, the attachment stuff, then you leave the love there. Because when you were with a person, at one point you loved them. So there's a reason you love them at that point. Yeah, now after you go through a separation or divorce, then there's a lot of anger. But then once you deal with this, then you get back to more normal relationship where you can be friends because there was a reason you loved them in the first place. O'Connor, she passed now, but I remember one of her interview, and she talked about that. She was friends with all her exes, and that's what she was saying. I was attracted to them for a reason, but after, like sometime it changes after a while, but they're still the same person I fell in love with. So that was very interesting, and I really resonated with that. So it is important. You don't have to become friends, but especially if you have kids, you have no choice. You're stuck with them for life, wherever it is going to happen, right? It's like I got 5 grandkids, so I had to deal with my ex like all over at Christmas times and all the time. So now we get along very good. But it's something that you have to forgive, not for them. It's for you because it's the poison in you. And it's very, very important to have the love and share the love. And then when you start forgiving, it gets easier. Go ahead.
Well, and I've heard too from women when we talk about relationships, they'll say that, well, I wish he was back to the man I fell in love with. Right?
Yeah.
You heard that a lot because that just keeps coming up.
Yeah. And then everybody changes, and we have to accept. So why did you pick this man? Why do you attract this spouse? And that's when there's a lot of answers that can come out of that. And that's why I love working with people. I love talking to people and see the hot moment in their eyes. Like, wow, like, yeah, that makes sense. And working with all different aspects. So when I do the 1 year program, we go, because I'm a Reiki master and I did a lot of different things, we also work with all the energy of your body and all the other things that you attract and how to recreate all the good stuff in your life.
I love that because we do have to get down to the depths of what's still hurting us or stopping us from fulfilling those dreams and passions. And especially in like the age group we both work in, right? There's already so many changes mentally and physically and psychologically that's going on in our bodies. We need to make sure that everything has, like you say, that strong foundation. And I do love that because words are very, very powerful too.
Yeah.
Having to talk to ourselves going through that is just, it's huge.
Well, we did an exercise with the group I was with, and you get them to make a list of bad things for themselves with you, like as talking to themselves, but as a second person. So you are not worthy, or you are scared. So write 5 to 10. Most of them had 5, and now it's okay. Tell your sister that. In this case, we had some people that were family, but some people that were not. So turn around to the other person and tell them that. Tell them exactly what you wrote, and they said, "No, can't do that. That's too mean." But you do it to yourself, right? So we had to take it and it's like rephrase it. Like, you're scared, yeah, but what, you'll be better. You'll find some answers. You'll find some support, and you'll be better. So to me, when I look at the way I used to talk to myself, if I would have talked to anybody that, they would have never talked to me for the rest of my life, because the way we talk to ourselves is so mean sometimes. And then when you bring it out, like that exercise, to write it down as a you and then tell somebody else exactly what you said about yourself, they all refuse because it's too mean. But we do it to ourselves. So that's not good, right? It's you have to change that mentality. You got to change that mindset. And that's what is the manifestation that we do, and the affirmation, kind of start doing that, because we got 80,000 plus. Some people say 120,000, but at least 80,000 to 100,000 thoughts a day. 80% are the same, and 80% of those are negative. So that's why when I say about a year, when you work with a year program and you get supported this and start changing it. In the old days, say cassette, the kids don't know what a cassette is anymore. So now the programming in our head, we got to change it slowly. You can't just snap your finger and change it like that. So there's a progress as we work with it. Every week we kind of, okay, what have you done this week? Like, how can we do it better? And what else, what kind of words can we use? And after a while, you start to catch yourself, right? And it's a very, very important. Like, for example, every time I take a wrong road, I turn the wrong place, I don't flip like I used to. Like, remember, I'm French Canadian, so for the for the American people, the French were known for their bad temper. I just, okay, there's a reason. I don't know the reason. I don't need to know the reason. It's like maybe there's an accident where I was supposed to turn. Maybe there's something dangerous I missed, or there's something else I'm supposed to see, or whatever else the universe has in mind. And I don't question it because I trust. I just go with the flow, right? I have to turn to another street. I have to go somewhere else. Our life is the same way. You plan your life. I want to be there, there, there. And all of a sudden you end up sideways. And then there's the learning curve before you can get to from A to B. There's going to be A plus, A minus, A whatever. Like, before you get to B, there's going to be a lot of A's, A1, A2, A3, A101. When you don't question it, you question it, but you don't fight it and accept it. Okay, I want to go here, but now I'm okay, what am I supposed to learn here? And then you get to B, but in a better way, understanding that there was something to learn before you got to where you plan to be, either a new job or a new relationship or anything like that.
True, because life's not very linear. It's not a straight line, and you don't go A, B, C to Z. You kind of A, F, P, Q, back to B, maybe C.
Yeah, that's why when we do the long-term vision, like, A to B, and I use the metaphor of the GPS. So in the GPS now, in the old days, we had to enter where we are, but now when you start your car, the GPS, it knows where you are, and then you push B. And every time there's a detour, reminds me of my dad when I was young, like, if there was something wrong, turn around, we'll go home. That's too much trouble. But the GPS will say, recalculating. Like, if there's an accident or if there's blockage on the road, the construction, then you got to turn somewhere else, recalculate. And you might get off the highway and go to the dirt road or a side road. But the GPS never gets mad. It just recalculates. And that's why I teach people. It's like, you want to go A to B, but there's some detour here that you don't know about yet. Trust the universe, because it will not let you get in an accident or stuck in a construction zone. Or so the GPS just recalculate. So that's what you have to kind of start doing with your life. Like, every time there's a turn, because I want to be here at this time or this date and then recalculate. It's like there's a little detour here. And then to be able to try to see, why am I going here, without too much questioning, because you got to trust there's a reason.
Yeah, and I love that because you're right. It is a great example of kind of taking the emotion out of what's happening. Because, I mean, as humans, we're emotional beings. It's nice to say as a GPS, yeah, it just recalculates. Like it doesn't get mad, it doesn't get upset, it doesn't throw a fit. Well, I'm going to be late. It's like, okay, let's see where life takes me now. I love that very much.
Yeah, as a French Canadian, there's a lot of the colorful words we use in the swearing. So when a French person got mad, they were growing up with all my dad. There were 9 brothers, so yeah, there was a lot of emotion behind this. But we all grew up learning better, and now it's rare that I get mad. The only thing that really get me, and I always question, what would Mother Teresa say when you hit the little toe on the bed, on the bedpost? Like this is the one that still can't avoid, because this one, for some reason, is connected to the words.
Absolutely.
Those doesn't happen often, good thing, but when it does, it's like that's the one. But the rest of the time, I'm pretty smooth on all the other stuff that's happening.
And that's awesome. And you're also, when I met you, you are doing this wonderful giveaway program right now.
Yeah, people might be wondering why I have a Christmas tie on, and we'll show the people the Christmas ties because we have a big Christmas and holiday extravaganza giveaway. Why did I put holidays? Is because I have a lot of friends that are not Christian. Like I got some Jews and a Muslim and Druze, all kinds of other religion around me, and some people that don't. So holidays is good for everybody, and that's why I always include them in this stuff. So here I got about 24, 25 coaches that have beautiful gift for personal growth, and you'll have the link in to put on after. There's a QR code here, and it's a beautiful gift. Like my gift for the 20 tips is also in there, the 20 tips for a better life. So instead of just giving that, I'm giving all the gifts that comes with all the coaches here. And yeah, it's a beautiful Christmas giveaway. I got a lot of friends that are coaches, and I try to help people as much as I can. And it's so different. Like everybody's got a different take on their coaching. So it's beautiful. It's a
And keep
beautiful
it up
gift.
there. Yeah, and I've noticed you have a number of women on there that it's going to be on my podcast later in January, so that's awesome.
Check them all and click on all of them, and then my gift after on my jeanlucalaire.com, it'll be there, my 20 tips. But right now I want to give all the gifts that came for Christmas giveaway. So just click on the link and then you'll get rerouted. And once you get the gift link, then you can go check them out as much as you want. You'll be on until January 5th. So people can get all the gifts, and it's going to be beautiful. I love that all they have to give. And yeah,
That's
you know,
awesome.
a lot
Thank
of them.
you. Yeah, they look inspirational. They have so many different things that they give. Like even if we do the same things, like you said, we do it differently.
Yep.
And I love that for sure. But thank you so much for being on today. I think it's been absolutely exceptional for them to hear from you and see what your wonderful passion project is for your life. Any last words for the audience today?
Well, I'd love to have a strategy call with anybody. So it's free. It's a good 30 minutes. I can just, like I say, I have a lot of friends, coaches. A strategy call usually could be, if I can't help you, somebody else I know can help you, or just having a chat, which I love talking. I don't know if you noticed. And I'm on a lot of podcasts, like they talk about menopause. In February, I'll be the only man on the menopause summit. About my friend Cyrene's going to have her thing for a summit that's going to be health woman, and especially the menopause part. And I got you this week. I just talk to a lot of people, but I love to meet people. So book a call with me, just 30-minute strategy, and just have a chat. See if I can help you or if I can guide you to something else. Love to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love that. So 30 minutes for free, guys, and you can have a wonderful chat to see if that's something you want to do further. I think that's an awesome gift as well. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Allison. I appreciate, and I'd say Merry Christmas. That might show after Christmas, but anyway, so now Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you and your family and all the listener that will listen before Christmas.
There you go. We'll definitely get it out before Christmas for all of you, and it'll be there for you to continue to hear, both on Spotify, on Wealthy Women Entrepreneurs Network, and on my YouTube channel. So just remember that through your soul expression sessions, that you find absolute amazing pure love inside your glorious heart. Thank you for listening to Soul Expression Sessions today, and have yourself an amazing week. Thank you. God bless.